Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today is going to be the MOVESET showcase for Ingrid. Unlike C Viper and Alex, who have appeared in proper Street Fighter games, were created specifically for Street Fighter games, and making those videos were like relatively easy. Ingrid is a guest character from other Capcom games, and her true origin comes from a cancelled game entirely. So with that, it is possible that she has mechanics that are references to those games, more so than her being like copy pasted in Alpha 3 from Fighting Jam. So as a result, the video took a bit longer because I have to like see every aspect of the character to see how they would adapt her. One area I tried looking for is health. However, Alpha 3, everyone has universally the same amount of health. So Ingrid, of the 4 character of this season pass, is the all-arounder character. So she has a fireball for advance and kick special. What sets her apart are the use of magic in her kit and the potential for fighting all-stars, that game's mechanics being in her kit as well. Some of her normals, she uses magic to extend the reach, and it goes quite far. Even jump heavy punch, but especially forward jump heavy punch or back jump heavy punch, is very active, lasts a good amount of time, big hitbox. Downside is, as a result of this series of heavy punches, she does not have an anti-air button. The closest one would be proximity heavy punch. The developers will probably make it back heavy punch, but that's it. So you're forced to just use DP to anti-air them. Now for possible Ingrid exclusive mechanics. Number 1 is burnout exclusive defense. This is not something in All-Stars, this is something I came up with purely because of how Capcom distributed Ingrid's moves across the 3 isms. So in normal mode, you have quite a number of universal mechanics alongside defensive tools specific to each character, right? So alongside your DP, you also have an alpha counter, which is your drive reversal, your air-to-air blocking. If you try to block an anti-air, nothing happens. However, if both characters jump, you can air block. So there's air-to-air blocking, there's alpha counters. However, if you're playing on X-ism, which is emulating Street Fighter 2, you cannot use those mechanics. But exclusive to X-ism is Love Roll, which functions exactly like a KOF style roll. You roll forward, you are strike invincible, you're fireball invincible, but you're not grab invincible. So during your grab, similar to Aki snake roll, if someone does grab, you'll eat a punish counter throw. Mechanic number 2 is health limited supers. So in the cancelled Capcom Fighting All-Stars, your ability to use supers at all not only requires you to fill up a super gauge, but also, even if you do, you are locked out of using specific supers until your health goes down a certain health threshold. Full health, you can only use level 1, and then it goes down, you can use level 2, and it goes down again, you can use level 3, and just like every other character in the game, if it goes down again, the level 3 becomes a C8. Ingrid has some very unique supers in the form of Sunburst and Sun Delta, so if they want to make them really powerful, that would be one way to limit their use, being that you cannot use them if your health isn't low, and forcing you to use Sunshine. And before we move on to normals, the last one I want to mention is less of a interesting mechanic and more of a troll. Declaration of Victory. One thing Capcom can put in, either standard or online matches that would allow Ingrid players to troll. During the loading screen right before the match, they could allow Ingrid players to taunt the opponent and tell them, "I'm better than you." If you do so, the opponent only needs to win one round to win. If you recall my Alpha 3 isms and modes video, one of the downsides to Magi mode, to make up for the increase in damage across the board, the opponent only needs to win one round. The YouTube videos, can I get legend rank with only Declaration of Victory Ingrid, That's gonna be some primetime content. That's all the unique gimmicks for now. There's still one more I want to get to, but I'll save it for later. For now, here are the normals. All of your heavy punches have this magic attack that has a lot of range. The closest to an anti-air punch he has is proximity heavy punch. It's possible they make it an anti-air in the form of back heavy punch. It's possible they don't do it at all. Sunbright forward medium punch is your overhead. Easy step forward medium kick is your low crush. Little lag diagonal down forward medium kick is a slide normal that you see in a lot of SNK games. And love roll, which we already covered. Projectile and strike invincible roll that you can only do in the Xism, which I predict will be the burnout exclusive defensive option. Now for specials. Core circle forward punch is Sunshot. You throw a slowly moving sun in 3 different angles. The medium and heavy ones can cover different jumping arcs. If they're approaching you in a way where their jumping normal may not reach, but heavy Sunshot and medium Sunshot could be really good to cover those specific angles. But if they're directly above you, you use your DP. Now, as I said, it is slow, so using it in combos can be awkward in Alpha 3 Max. And the light version can clash with fireballs just fine. So you're not completely helpless in fireball wars. Z and kick is Sun Arc. A Shoryuken, not much needs to be said. Fully invincible, as you expect from a DP in classic games, and so in Street Fighter 6 they'll make it invincible on the EX version. Core circle forward kick is Sunrise. Pretty good combo tool. However, it's a little too slow to combo from lights in Alpha 3. They could improve it in Street Fighter 6 by making the light version like more combo friendly from lights, and then medium and heavy more combo friendly from medium and heavy. Sunrise can be performed mid-air, core circle back, kick in the air, sun dive. Medium and heavy have different travel physics, while the light version makes you fall straight down, which allows you to bait jumping uppercuts. Final special move, or 2 special moves in the move list. Although given modern controls, they'll probably consolidate these 2 moves as one input. Core circle back punch is upper sun, and core circle back kick is lower sun. Although the input will probably be changed to something like core circle back light punch for the up version, medium punch for the lower version, and then heavy punch will be something completely different. That way you can perform the move on modern. So this is a counter in the same vein as Rock Howard and Geese Howard in Fatal Fury. One type of counter only counters mid and high attacks, and one counter dedicated for low attacks. Upon counter, you can juggle the opponent with either Sunrise or Sun Arc your DP. And here's what the low version looks like. You can combo after this counter, but how many moves you can chain together is very limited as a result of being juggled. It's exclusively like drive rush normals or special move juggles until the opponent falls on the ground. Trying to hit them with like a standard normal is going to make them reset in the air, unless you use an EX move. Now Alpha 3 doesn't have EX moves, so I cannot really demonstrate you. But another mechanic from the cancelled Capcom Fighting All-Stars is something called dramatic counters. You can trigger a dramatic counter which will slow down the game. So that's probably what the EX version of this counter move is going to do. You have drive parry, which allows you to perfect parry everything, but if you do, it has huge damage reduction. And then you have the Ingrid exclusive dramatic counter, which will probably not be frame 1, will probably not work on throws, unlike JP, and you have to still aim it like high or low, like your counter. The downside to using dramatic counter instead of just perfect parry would be that at 2 bars instead of 0.5 bar, dramatic counter would use 4 times as much drive to initiate, and also would probably have worse startup than frame 1. Like, perfect parry is frame 1, dramatic counter sun upper or dramatic counter sun lower would be like frame 3 or slower. And there's actual punishment to messing up sun upper or sun lower. If you guess a high and the opponent does a low, you get hit. If you guess a high perfect parry and the opponent does a low, you do imperfect parry. Like a drive parry that's like imperfect. Now for supers. Double quarter circle back and kick is Sunshine. Probably the most level 1 type super ever in her kit. And then you have 2 other supers that could either be level 2 or level 3, depending on what the developers felt that day. Double down forward punch is Sunburst. And double down back and punch is Sun Delta. Now, Sunburst can use any amount of bar in alpha, while Sun Delta specifically needs level 3. So you could argue that Sun Delta will be the level 3 super in Street Fighter 6, but again, the developers can literally decide to not make it the level 3 super. So Sun Delta is a command grab from 3 different ranges depending on what button you use. Light, medium, and heavy range. And yes, I did say command grab. So probably not a good idea to try to zone her out when she has an almost full screen command grab in her back pocket. And then Sunburst, which is likely the level 2 super. When Capcom went to Taipei Game Show, they had a Capcom 2025 mural at the event. Part of the art is Ingrid using her Sunburst super. So Sunburst is an explosive bubble that she deploys, and it flies slowly. In Alpha 3, if you're hit by the bubble and it explodes in your face, it does decent damage. If you're outside the radius, the damage is quite bad. The opponent is knocked back and reset to neutral after this move, making it difficult to combo outside of the corner. While you're in the cornered opponent can't really go anywhere, so you can combo after it. The level 2 utility in Street Fighter 6 is probably that if you're caught by the explosion in any way, you'll be sent upwards and like moon launched in a way that would make it easier to combo than in Alpha 3. However, just like in Alpha 3, if you're not directly hit by the bubble, the damage will be pretty bad. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Ingrid's a character that has not appeared in a lot of the games and is a crossover character. So I'm hoping that Capcom cooks a lot with her moveset in Street Fighter 6. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day!